facilities managers. Take us through the pain points related to facilities management.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest issues is preventative maintenance, right? And being able to identify what are the things that need to happen proactively that obviously are going to be less expensive and less time or even impact than that's being done in a reactionary standpoint. Also safety. I've lived in that world for a long time, and I can tell you there's a lot of things that are safe, and they're not. It's not that they seem super intentional as much as it's just somewhat out of compliance type deals that create a big issue, right? And so being able to have people in real time just check on the safety of a facility. Obviously, we talked about this before, the travel cost and time. Typically, the people inside of facility management is, you're not going to have a ton of resources who are probably your subject matter experts. You're going to probably have a lot of people who are out in the field that are kind of more of the repair do versus the, identify what needs to be done. And so again, we still see that, or we've experienced that in that industry is one of these limited resources with the skill and knowledge and experience to be able to give better direction. And so we're seeing that in the facility management side. We think there's, obviously a lot of opportunities there, just in those kind of pain points that we're identifying.
Stuart, is there anything more on safety inspections, maybe in terms of regulatory compliance?
Yeah, Brandon, I'll let you jump in that since you've got way more experience in the safety regular.
Yeah, we could do a whole nother show just on the safety side of this. We found that if you're in safety and you hadn't found NSPECT yet, you're probably a day away from finding it because it's just going rapid through the industry. It's you could be on the small side of things, but if you're big and you've got OSHA knocking on your door or you've got, different things, like you need to know. And one of the most important things, other than keeping people safe is document and compliance. And so there's, regulatory to where, yes, you've got to do these things and everybody makes mistakes. But if you can show that, hey, our fire extinguishers, we check them every single month. And you just happened to show up the day after, my tag expired, I would have caught that, next week. And they go, well, you do it every month, and go, yes, let me show you. Here's last month's report. Here's this month's report. Here's this month's, or, January, February, March. It makes a world of a difference, not to mention gives these safety inspecting, this is a small community, that works really hard, but allows them to communicate with each other, allows them to learn, when there is unfortunately an incident, they can go back and they can look and capture that space and say, what could we have done better? But really where we find, safety gets involved is I'm a medium-sized company. I don't have a full HS&E guy on staff. I work with a consultant. My consultant can only get to my, facility once every 90 days or once every 6 months, or that's all I can afford to fly him out and to go through it. Grab your iPhone, get an access camera, scan the facility, send him over a link, the NSPECT project and say, Bill, what am I missing? What have we done wrong? Do you see anything out of line? Yes, you can't leave that ladder leaning there. You're missing, the unistrut bracket, over here. You don't have tie-offs over here. Those are things that can be done while Bill's dropped his kid off at school, as Stuart said, and came back home and sit at the kitchen table or on the couch and is able to mark those things up. And we didn't have to wait for him to get on an airplane. We didn't pay for hotels, and we got immediate information that we don't have any data, but maybe we're saving lives along the way.